change this. All right, let me just type this in.
Jalapeno cone?
Jalapine cone.
Jalapeno cone. Oh, that makes sense. I like that.
Echo? Why did I just hear an echo?
Oh,
It's
I did for a
fixed.
second too, but I don't hear it now.
Okay, then it must have been the other thing. I'm ready to put out announcement. Are we in? Are we officially in now? Do we have audio? We're in? We're in? Let me put it in. Thanks, Mutant, for telling us. I also noticed at the same time. This works out. Our production was muted, and
April
I guess
Fools!
production's always muted for viewers at home, but not for us. The announcement has been sent. The gamers have been called to the twitch.tv/CS Confederation, and the game is on, or at least it will be here very soon. This is the Contender semifinals, the first of two semifinals that were actually rescheduled. So it looks like we're going to be able to get both of them here on stream. This one is AVI's Ravens versus YC's Nekomatas. And this is an exciting one. Two teams that are both 7-4 in the regular season, both with strong players, a strong record, and, well, both have a shot at the grand finals. My name is Fuffy, and I am joined by my co-caster here, Marky M. Marky, how's it going?
It is going very well. I am excited for some Vertigo. I am excited for some semifinals. I am excited for some Counter-Strike.
Heck yeah. To bring us through all this counter-striking action, we have Anonymous, our lovely, lovely observer slash producer there on the sticks. Now, before we jump into this game, it looks like all the players are loaded in, so they just need to ready up. I want to sort of talk about these two teams so far and what they've done. Is the knife round's going to be a formality, but it's going to start up right now. We've really, in this one, I think we're going to see Hunter Bubba on the side of the Ravens, who's been the star as the entry up here, going to sort of take on the entire side of the Nekomatas, and we'll see if they can provide that impact. Ravens were Ravens were struggling a little bit before. As we jump on into this knife, we can I believe this is the map pick of the Ravens, and so Nekomatas will just get to select their side, which is why you see the Ravens stabbing each other, just sort of messing around. In a best of three, knife doesn't matter until we get to that third map. I talked about Hunter Bubba, his 1.18 rating. He's an entry for the Ravens, but on the other side, Sharpie with a 1.21 rating is their opper. If there's one sort of thing that I want to highlight, it's Sharpie there up at the top as a star player, and then GCL as more of a supportive opper with a 1.01 rating on the side of the Ravens. If GCL can step up to the level of Sharpie, I think the Ravens have a really good shot. Whereas the Nekomatas have a great shot if Sharpie can sort of show dominance in the server and show why that sniper rifle is so feared. Marky, I'm gonna throw you. I don't want to say throw you under the bus. This is a classic caster thing. I want to hear a prediction. Do you have any thoughts coming into this game so far?
Well, I have one prediction for you. I
Ooh.
am saying This is a very hot take. I'm saying Ravens take the first map, and
Okay.
that is
This
because
definitely feels like one of their home maps.
they are 4-0 during the regular season on Vertigo. Undefeated. They had one close game, 1916. They beat out Marauders, but everything else, more than the other team didn't even make it to double digits. So should be
Wow.
fairly strong, especially starting on the CT side here.
Interesting that the Nekomatas allow this map through, but it seemed like they were
Hmm.
just a little bit more afraid of other maps that might have been their permaban. As we're just immediately into it, and Togglepub is immediately taken out. Hunter Bubba entry on the T and CT side grabs that frag. Quick little headshot on the USP as now they back up. All these CTs have rotated over. And it's awkward here for the T's. Hunter wants to extend for even more, gets the info that they're at the bottom of ramp. And now they could rotate away, but they're not going to. Just sort of staying strong. And Sharpie's going to reaggress inside hall. Creeps up close. There's Professor on the corner, and Sharpie instant on the headshot to grab it back. The two top scorers for their teams in the regular season, but they're just going B. They're running it straight down full speed, and Mike and Reb instantly get a frag apiece. That's bombed down. That's Dimitri and Hunter Bubba. Barely any HP to their name. Gonna still attempt this retake. Contact on these players up close, but Hunter's taken down. Dimitri gets one, and a consolation frag at that. First round on the board for the Nekomatas. They get it done here in the Pistol of Vertigo. Starting off on the T side, it's interesting, given that this was the Ravens map choice, the Nekomatas elected to start T side.
Yeah, definitely interesting. One positive about that is obviously they get to set the pace of the game. So if they have something in store, they can kind of try to control it. Nice job that rounds. Just weren't able to find the openings they were hoping for a ramp and decided to slow things down. So should be an easy second here.
Should be, and it is.
Wow. Nice job on them keeping all five alive. That'll be very nice to build up some economy here. Obviously, T-side usually being on the weaker of the two, so if they can start getting into this pretty early, that'll be good. 4 Galils, though, in a MAC 10, so versus all M4s going into this round might have the disadvantage.
They might decide to pick up the pace, though, on these kind of buys. It's something that the Ravens may expect, but something that makes perfect sense when you've got weaker guns to pull out a pocket strat, send that MAC 10 in for info. Alpine Cone is walking up towards single, but doesn't want to overextend. Just a 2-1-2 setup, and B ramp control is found and cleared by the Ravens. We'll see if that allows them to send some rotates over. Instead, it sends Dimitri up for spam. Realizes that there's a couple players up close. Sharpie drops a molly, but Dimitri's already out of there. Nice one-way up close on Crane. That should force them back from this fight. But Alpine Cone, an interesting position to get into. Professor on the other side of the map grabs the pick towards mid. That's the mid lurker gone. And now the T's, they spread out again. Nekomatas aren't really sure where they want to end in this round. Mike clearing bottom B, perhaps. This is where they'll go. And Hunter Bubba hasn't even spotted him. He's jiggling, but he's going to see Mike. He creeps up. Oh, not even expected. Hunter Bubba blindsided by Mike. There's another player here on the site in the form of Professor, but Mike dunks him with the nade. A Kobe indeed, at least. Dimitri can grab a frag on A, but they are sprinting into B. The site is theirs. It's all Mike's, really. GCL wants to take it away. Mike sprayed down on the A4. Now the second player close. GCL has the instant headshot. Only one more necessary, and really, he's already won this round out. 13 seconds, and Alpine Cone stands no chance.
Wow, very nice job on GCL rotating in there. That was only player separating Nekomatas from that B site, and very nice job from them. That was a bonus round. They'll have AKs going into this. I loved that they were able to just, once again, be pretty methodical. They did have a util advantage, although they didn't have the rifle advantage, and So they were able to find a few players, and if they can pick up this round, Ravens going to be back on a
Yeah.
Nico. So
It was a little bit awkward because of the fact that I think their spacing was off because Mike got that HE kill. And when
Mhm.
he got the nade kill, he was like, oh, I can take all this space. But then he was up alone, and it allowed GCL to just take basically 3 1v1 fights and win them all out. Dimitri wins that 1v1 fight on ramp, but is instantly traded, so a 4-on-4 ensues. Hawkish wants to peek in for even more, and now grabs the Ravens the advantage, and the in-game leader slips on back. As we're sort of at a lull in the action, I realize I never gave my prediction.
and
Realistically, I say
uh-huh.
2-1 for the Ravens. I think Ravens have got this map in the bag. As someone, Hawkish is caught out on reload. As someone who has played the Ravens here on Vertigo, I know they're pretty strong. That being said, we did 16-3 them in our Vertigo practice, not to,
Ooh.
but they actually beat us. Our challenger team lost to the contender team in a scrim, 16-14. Play out all 30. So
Wow.
they're pretty darn good on this map. That being said, what makes them really good is just the ability to take fights. Hunter Bubba can be up close and in your face. He likes to flash himself into ramp. And this round, they have a close smoke that's just going to be ran through. GCL already up towards quad, sprays down 1.5. There's a rotate in, but Reb has flanked mid. Do these footsteps, are they heard? Professor doesn't realize. He drops down, shot in the back, and so it's a 1v1. Hunter Bubba close on the right, gen smoke. Here's them creeping around, swings to the right just perfectly. Plays the audio cues to perfection. He can hear that one. And it's 2-2 now. The Ravens bring it back, and the Nekomatas, they're on a save.
Yeah, very nice job from the Ravens there. Nekomatas, though, they're showing they definitely have some knowledge on this map. They're not going to go down easily here. So I do like that they're going to buy into this as well. Their economy, not great, but only one player survived for the Ravens. So still, Ravens' economy really bad. So again, it'll be an eco whoever loses.
Yeah, GCL the Opera forced onto a FAMAS. These early double B setups, the Ravens love to do it, and Hunter Baba loves that. Triple kill on the AK. He'll go down, but he'll be happy with it. Mike and Sharpie, their Maxims left up alive and just getting mowed down here. Professor had the flank, but not even required. So that's the Ravens into the lead for the first time here in this game. They're going to go ahead and scavenge a couple weapons, drop some over, and they should be up to full rifles. In the meanwhile, again, it's down to about 2,000 per player on the side of the Nekomatas. Not enough for a buy, at least enough loss bonus to get a couple pistols.
Yeah, still could be dangerous here, Sharpie, with Kevlar as well. So if they could get a plant, that would be big. But definitely Ravens wanting to keep a few alive here. Start building their economy, just taking the lead, still early.
Early pressure on B.
It's a nice trade.
Take that space. Ooh, yeah. That's a really good trade there. And that's the entirety of mid given over. They're going to decide to bring it into A. There's a player in here, Heaven. They've spotted him, shot in the back of the head.
Wow.
Sharpie gets shot by Reb. I think Reb is technically a support player on the stat sheet. Really supporting his teammates there with that one.
8-3
now,
so far, though.
yeah, they're in a really good spot. Those frags that they were able to get, yeah, a little bit of team damage, but what's more important is that they find both the CTs here. Now Hunter comes in on the retake, doesn't expect Reb up close. Reb, this round is all him. He's got 3 whole frags, gonna get mollied out. The molly misses. Oh, so unfortunate. Only one more bullet needed to finish him, but GCL's just gotta up and leave. 3-3 were tied up, and that was just pistols. The early B-lane actually not working out because it's just a straight mid to A from the Nekomatas.
Yeah, that initial pick into mid was huge, and once you have that space, you can go anywhere you want, obviously wrapping through CT or as they went over to A, just a ton of space you can take, and very nice job finding both frags. It looked like once they made it over to A, the CT players over there were a little confused, not really playing too well together. One of them went over towards ramp, and the other was trapped CT, so nice job just singling out those fights and winning them.
Yeah, it was especially awkward because they played 2B early. It meant that they didn't have that mid-A rotate that would normally be an elevator to cut off a play like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were just completely stuck between a rock and a hard place and a couple of T-pistols. End up losing this one for him. Dimitri playing up close. Oh, that was so close from Tuggle. He's not going to get the frag, and Dimitri's going to play the smoke fade here if Tuggle walks through. Oh, heads up duel, and Tugglebub hits the instant headshot. A nice frag, a good flash. Forces him back. Halapine Cone and Tuggle here at bottom A ramp. But in the meanwhile, this T default, they're playing it perfectly. A fight on B. GCL just walked down. Solo play for Information gets punished. The mid pick as well going to go away. And so now they realize B should be open for the taking as all this util flies in. The site is theirs. The bomb will go down. And these last two CTs, they're going to try to save, but we'll see if the Nekomatas even let them.
Already on the hunt, Hawkish trying to play around this smoke, but there's a player right around the corner and one CT. Finds that. Now they know where that M4 is.
They might try to get Hunter Bubba to pick up one of these guns. Hawkish has another frag, but no more. Finally shut down by Sharpie. And now Hunter just playing the exit over towards B-Man.
This will be big if he can find one here. That means the majority of Nekomatas would be forced to buy in. Looks like Kevlar and Deagle, too valuable at this point, wants to at least keep something. Oh, maybe not.
Alpine goes. Oh! A light tickle with the knife there. Good thing Alpine Cone had his AK out.
Wow. Very nice job from Nekomatas. I'm very impressed by this so far. 4, taking the lead back. Again, they're just being so methodical, being very slow, just taking the fights they want. They're, as I said, Seaside, you can control the pace, and that doesn't always mean going fast. They're just taking the fights they want, and it's working out so far.
Ooh, but it's fast here from the CTs as they just bum rush B, get a frag, get an AK in the hands of Dimitri. But the rest of these T's can come up towards A. There's only one defender in Professor. He's going to go down. And Dimitri should die walking into ladder here. Yep. We saw him on the X-ray just creep closer and closer to Sharpie holding. And so now, Hawkish the final to fall. Nice and simple there for the Nekomatas. They're up to a good spot, but now the rifles will come out again. No AWP on the side of the Ravens. A little bit of a rough one for GCL if they wanted to get that op out. But we've seen them pretty strong on the rifle over there towards the B side of the map.
Yeah, definitely something that they can look to do later in this game here. Obviously, CT side Vertigo does have some strong angles you can hold with it. Nekomata's also not choosing yet to get an op out, but working just fine with the rifles. Ooh.
Oh, that's a gross crossfire there in mid. As you were mentioning, the slow pacing, just the mid control gain, but at the same time they're doing an A walk. Like, Ravens don't know where to look.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting them all spread out. Tree. Oh, can't even find it.
He looked away at the wrong moment. Now GCL left alone, alive here towards Z. I was going to say not for long, but he finds a crispy little headshot. AK to try to recover, but Sharpie in from behind, and that is that. Another clean round from the Nekomatas.
Again, Ravens. Oh, calling a timeout now. Just not able to build their economy at all. Reb is sitting at 14 frags already through 9 rounds. Talked about Sharpie on the side of the Nekomatas. Reb, 1.21 rating during the regular season. Nekomatas actually had 3 players in the top 11 for all of Contender, and boy, just showing some great individual skill right now.
Oh yeah. Ravens, I feel like they can win these games when they make them a little bit more scrappy. I've seen them just like their T side is a similar thing to the Nekomatas, except I wouldn't say that they're going slow. I would even say that they just suddenly pick up the pace at random intervals. Professor will
Mm.
just peek an angle and go for the fight. We'll see Hunter Bubba just send it in. Dimitri just decides, all right, now's my time. Let's get it going. And then Hawkish calls all the boys together, just like he's done in this round. Called them all into mid. GCL breaks his legs as he goes down ladder. And Mike, well, he's holding in the back. That's one head tap, but
Ooh.
it gets awkward. He swings wide, a little bit too wide, in fact, and he's gonna go down. Now the pistols are up close. Professor's got a 1D, but Tuggle Bub has got a double. Say that one 10 times fast. And Hunter Bubba gonna save the AK. Similar spot to where Mike was. That was a cheeky angle. It seemed like Mike wanted to wait to line them all up, but they were just
Yeah.
so sporadic as they just ran past him, and he couldn't get more than one head. Oh, okay, yeah, Hunter Bubba just gets that one in the back. Rev wasn't expecting it. Drops a Molotov. Hunter, just get out of there. Save that. That's what he's going to do. Tuggle's going to eat the damage, and Hunter should save this one just all right.
Nice job on Nekomatas. Yeah, bringing it up to 7. They heard they heard the mid rush. It's still a nice play, and they would have liked to keep 1 or 2 more alive there, but their economy at this point is just starting to get a little crazy. Halapine Cone, Sharpie both over 10k. GCL does pick up the op now for the first time in the match here, so see where they decide to post up with that, but that could definitely be something that can turn the tides here for the Ravens.
Oh, yeah. And GCL's just bringing it back B. And this is a pace change. Maybe they realize the ops come out. Maybe they just have a feeling. And so they're bringing it straight up into A immediately. Molotovs, so much util dumped in front. A flash in front as well. Hawkish is playing the one way if they decide to peek in. So now they just freeze, completely waiting. Tuggle swings out. That's one. Reb looking for a fight. All the smokes fade, but that includes their exec smokes. Smoke on Sharpie and a smoke on Mike for them to be able to get this through. Oh, and one on Pinecone. Okay. That goes down, and now they can get in and get this bomb down. 4v4, but plenty of map control for them to work with. But Hawkish finds a perfect timing. Nobody was watching top spikes. Attempt on the response. Pinecone doesn't see a thing. Hawk just keeps tucked in his little nest there. A bunch of util gonna rain down on top. Smoke on the molly so that he can maintain his position. And he even sees through it. That becomes a one-way, but Pinecone! Oh, what a tap. And what a shot from Sharpie. Entering into the B site. Player from Heaven is Hunter to bring it back into a 2v2. And now the op finally comes into play. Hunter and GCL holding from the back lines. All the util fades away. And these teams could just never get that bomb into the site.
Yeah, that kill from the player on headshot that jumped right up. Maybe just a bit of miscommunication, as you said. Nobody was holding it at that point, and that was just really killer for the Nekomatas. Their smokes disappeared after that. 40 seconds, no more smokes, and GCL coming in with an op. There's no way at that point that they were going to be able to get the bomb down. It's nice job by Ravens bringing one back.
And it's important that they survive with 2, including the op, because that means that their economy isn't completely in shambles. Able to get rifles out. One for loss on Dimitri, but he even makes it work. Frag onto Tuggle. Pinecone eats a nade, getting peeked. That's a crispy headshot, though. He's going to slip away. If there's one thing we've seen, the Nekomatas, they're slow in their approach, but fast in their aim.
Another!
That's dirty. Rough for Mike, but he's gonna get ready for some exec util. A molly
GCL's
out there
stuck.
onto default. Yeah, GCL's got to fight. Decides to just turn themselves towards jump up. Oh, that's a first one, but doesn't realize just how close Sharpie was, and now that's an op in the hands of the opper. Dimitri left up alive in the clutch. It's a 1v2, and it's a winnable 1v2 at this point, actually. He's going to creep out towards Catwalk, doesn't see anybody, goes for the jump. Oh, he makes it across. Sees a player in the side. Does he just walk past? Oh, he just spots that shadow, spots it. Molotov lands, gonna force him forward. Sharpie, as he peeks out, he hits the shot. A good attempt there. If that molly went a little bit deeper, he had that frag on lock. A little awkward though. And now, the money is again in ruins for the Ravens.
This is fantastic play from Nekomatas. Just, they keep singling out all of the fights. Found that mid player, and then GCL was the last alive on B site, trying to hold between two players splitting from mid and two players coming up B ramps. Just impossible at that point. Good to find one, but op goes down, and now it's going to be a bit of a broken buy here, but do have the read.
I love the stack here, and Hawkish, that's a double.
Really?
Hunter with one on the scout from far range. They grab all of these frags and scavenge all these guns. Professor, even with an op on the ground to pick up, yes, the T's have the B site, but the bomb is all the way down. Is that the back of mid, or perhaps that's even like in Z? A really, really awkward spot as Professor holds the line of elevator. No way you're expecting an op at that point, and the op even finds Mike, finds the frag. Keep peeking, Professor, because it is working. 5 on the board for the Ravens. They're looking to grab the last few rounds of this half as we're now on round 14. And now, I mean, if the Nekomatas don't win this, I'd say with the bomb plant, they're going to be on a shakier buy, but Pinecone still got 6K. On the other side, a save round converted means pretty decent money for the Ravens, and great, great guns here.
Yeah, they have full util, and especially this late in the half, that's some momentum. GCL finding an entry on that picked up op too, and that's going to be huge. Early advantage.
Yeah. The slow default only really works when you're able to take B control, A control, everything at once. When one of those players gets picked, in this round, their B player is gone. That's an entire prong of the map that now you don't have to worry about as much if you're the Ravens. And so they can just sort of chill, keep with this double player setup mid, one player just sort of sitting hiding sandbags as Dimitri makes all this present side haul, and the Nekomatas are still stuck bottom ramp at 1:10 on the clock.
Yeah, the fact that GCL can just post up with the op on B site is huge. As you said, they have 2 in the mid. That'll be a very quick rotate once this A hit does decide to come in, so one player sandbags. They will clear this.
Ooh. Does he have a smoke for it? He just runs. He runs and
Oof.
he gets away? What?
Oh.
8 HP on Hawkish, but he escapes, and Dimitri on full HP has that kill alongside Hunter. And it's looking like the Ravens can get 6 down. This half might draw as close as it possibly can. Sharpie. If there's one player left alive that I know can do this, it would be Sharpie. Op in hand, the trusty weapon of choice as well. Oh, it's actually Pinecone to get 1. Almost 2. Yes, he gets it before going down. I would say this round is winnable from Sharpie, but he's already decided to save. Decided to just send Pinecone in for damage because he's got 6K in the bank. Be able to spend up next round. If Sharpie saves this, drops an AK, Pinecone can drop maybe even 2 AKs and buy one for themselves. And the Nekomatas will be in an alright spot here in the last round of the half. I say this round, it decides momentum. If the Ravens get it, they're feeling great coming into the next half. If the Nekomatas get it, they show that that was just a little bit of a streak. We can still come back out on top. So we'll see.
Yeah, this round's definitely going to be huge for momentum. Ravens, I mean, they're certainly going to have some stuff in store on the T side. This was their map pick, so it's like 2 players coming up short fast.
Oh, the double drop. The double drop, but he gives it away. Hawkish up close, playing the smoke. Tuggle never going to expect that there's a second player there. So he comes around in the meanwhile. Pinecone sitting up close, not going to see it, going to get sprayed down. Now Sharpie's watching for it though on the jump up. He jumps. That's going to spell disaster. Hawkish can even fall back, and the flash is perfect support there. Hunter Bubba comes in to help his teammate out and even gets the frag. Everything going right for the Ravens in this one, except for the team nade. And that, I guess. Mike with a pick as well.
That just drew a rotation. Reb has some space now. B.
Oh, he's
Oh,
got
they're
space, but it's immediately taken
just
away
coming
again.
back.
There's an op posted on this positioning. If he just decides to walk up into the site. A good Molotov. That's drawing attention back. It's a 3-on-2. And the 2 of those 3 players are over on B. That being said, 35 seconds left. They just decide to go. Reb decides to run in and gets sprayed down by Professor. A solid double. And that's that for the first half of this first semifinal here in Contender. 8-7 as close as you like it, but Nekomatas barely lead on the Ravens map pick. Now we swap over though, and as you said, Marky, it's the Ravens T side, and they definitely have a plan.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Nekomatas, they will have quite a bit to go off of. As we said earlier, 4 times this map was played for Ravens during the regular season, so they might have a bit of a hand shown in those demos if they decide to go back, but pistol round's definitely going to be important. Nekomatas, if they find it and convert, they can get up to double digits quick, and you'd love to see Sharpie get into this game. Their Opper, their star player, with a 1.39 CT rating as well, so certainly some angles they can hold here with that up, and it's like a mid play.
They're
There's
set up for
one
this.
here.
They're set up for this, but they're just getting run over. The Glock train, the pain train, straight onto him. Pinecone, Sharpie, and Tuggle get one apiece, and Tuggle finally doubles up.
Wow.
So that's going to be that. They got the entry, but nothing else.
Yeah, they were set up for that. Maybe they had some sort of read. Very nice job from Nekomatas. Even if you have the read, gotta hit the shots, and that's what they did, so I'll buy into this. 3 SMGs. Hopefully they can farm some cash here.
Alright. They're running into the FAMAS, though. All the way back at quad. Mike's gonna get one. Tuck in as well. Finally blocked down, but, well, Sharpie on the rotate. And that should be all she wrote.
That spot behind pillar is such a dirty spot. Especially if the T side has no mollies or anything to draw them out. Just sit back there the whole time.
I've been destroyed by it so much, I always have to hard clear it.
Yep.
It's like we've got sight, they're calling, like, the last 2 are on A, and I'm still like, gotta clear quad, guys. Now, we see the first gun round come out. AKs across the board for the Ravens. They took the eco where they needed to. Side hall smoke gonna land, but that side hall smoke is more just drawing attention as they're bringing it towards B early, and there's 2 players walking downstairs. Gonna get spotted out by Dimitri and Mike. MP9 Massacre over on the stairs gets both of those. Sharpie underhands a smoke to go ahead and recover an AK. At least Hunter Bubba has gotten an opening on this A ramp.
This will be huge if Professor can find this frag. Does have the advantage distance with the AK. Oh, that's a nice molly to draw.
At least they went for something aggressive early. And,
Oh, no.
Pinecone TK's up towards Crane, and now Hunter's got a headshot? Excuse me? Okay. Call this Hunter Bubba's map, because, oh my gosh. I think they were just trying to shoot through a teammate trying to catch Hunter Bubba off, and instead, oh, Hunter Bubba catches another headshot through the wall onto Mike. This is Hunter's world, and we're just living it. Hunts him down, and it's only Sharpie left alive. Here to just save the AK. Classic Opper move to save whatever they've got. We call it Jame time.
Keeping that KD up, 16 and 8.
Oh yeah, that's what's important. As an IGL, I know the real important thing is the KD.
Again, though, that's first half happened as well. That third rounds, whoever won the pistol in the first conversion was at a disadvantage with the rifles going into that first buy and end up losing it. 10-8 now. Ravens do get one back.
And it's not for the Nekomatas' lack of trying. They were giving it their all. Mike had a really good double there on the B stairs. I thought it was over. I thought once the MP9 gets 2 kills, they pick up an AK. That's that. But Hunter Bubba one-ups him and gets 3. Well, 4 if you count the TK.
Which we will. So far.
We'll count it. Nice 4K out of Hunter. Would have been the ace, but Sharpie, of course, decides to save. Just flat out a ramp control here gone for by the Nekomatas. And they're going to get all of it. The molly's close. The triple flashes behind. They should start to realize that this is probably going to be a B hit. More realistically, it might be a B split as they're walking up mid. Oh, watch out, Professor. 1 for 1 there on the mid fight. And in the meanwhile, these A players are going to look the same, but it's Hunter. Oh, of course, Hunter. He gets 1 GCL there as well. They grab both those frags, and it's acceleration on both sides of the map. Running into A, running into B, and running into the wall that is Mike and Sharpie. Frags apiece. They're split across the map, but the fact that Dimitri gets that means that now this bomb guaranteed can go down. Awkward place for Sharpie, but he knows that if he sprints back, it's a 1v1 on the B site. Because of Hunter's previous position, the slower he takes it, the more time Hunter has to rotate over. No way he's just saving. I guess without a kit, but
no kit, yeah.
You know that there's only 1 player on the site and Bomb was just down. Okay, you know, I respect it. I respect what might be, in my opinion, saving too much over going for impossible rounds and losing all your guns.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It is 10-9. I mean, they can see if they can get something going. I'd love to see that hero AK be used maybe towards A site on a boost or something like that. There's some opportunities to find an opening pick, and looks like some upgraded pistols will come in. Ooh, a revolver on Alpine Cone.
Ooh. I think that round was the Ravens taking the Nekomata strategy and using it against them, just playing it slow and steady. And now the Nekomatas are taking the Ravens strategy of just friggin' go at him. Bum rush him in mid. Hunter's got the cover. Players chunk down. Sharpie even puts an nade, but grabs a kill. Traded out by Dimitri. Now they're into the B site. Pistols starting to swarm and Reb. That's a Tech 9 headshot and a half. GCL up close. He doesn't pull the trigger. He doesn't pull the trigger on the AWP, but the second time's the charm. Through the scope, GCL's got that frag, and the Ravens, they've got themselves up to 10. We are tied here, double digits apiece. And finally, another buy round coming through for the Nekomatas. We see full guns. We see everything except for an AWP.
Yeah, no AWP yet. Still some time for it to come out, but that's got to feel good from Ravens winning that last round, especially GCL with that no-scope at the end. Hopefully gives them some confidence. Was just an eco, but keeping a few alive. Starting to get back into this game.
I love the use of the yellow smoke. Dropping all the way at the bottom there of side hall.
That's the bomb.
These players are just completely stuck. You're right, but that's the frags for the Ravens. They're going to go ahead and get so many of these kills, and now they can just sprint it in. Their lurker is dead, but if the smokes land in the site properly, and Hunter hits his shots like he always does, this will be a great spot for him. 3v2 and after plant, and this is a round that, I mean, unless they grab a kill through smoke or something early here, I think it might be another Nekomata save.
Yeah, no kits once again. It's going to be a very tough one if they'd want to go for this. Hunter Bumba is kind of trapped at default box. They saw it.
Showed his butt. Great flash.
Ooh.
Greater headshot. 1 for 1.
Baited him with the booty.
Yeah, the booty bait. Dang. And now Sharpie's just gonna back on out of there. 20-9 preserves the A1S, but Ravens, they take the lead. Nekomatas cannot preserve that. And here on the Ravens map pick, the Nekomatas are starting to feel the heat, starting to feel the pressure. So they pull their second tack timeout here. 30 seconds to talk it over. What do you think they're saying in the Nekomatas camp right now?
Boy, well, it's going to be a save here. I think they need to figure something out once they get into that next full gun rounds. I don't know if there's a change in setup. We definitely will see the op come out at that point. So that could certainly still be a turning point. Sharpies feeling themselves at 20 frags. So maybe talking about where they want to decide to set that up. Well, there is a little bit being bought in here. 357s and a diffuse kit.
I think it might make sense for them to try to punish one of these extremities of the map where the Ravens are leaving a lurk. They
Mm-hmm.
caught off Hawkish
Mm-hmm.
last round. That was a kill that they were able to get. That being said, they just lost the A site. Right now, you might as well try to punish that with these pistols. And this is just unstoppable force means a movable object. Spray of the AKs. Professor has 3. It's only Sharpie alive on the site. A1S in hand. Hunter has the frag. Whew. The immovable object wins that bout. Ravens up to 12. The Nekomatas, you could say they had the correct read because they were 5B, but realistically, they expected one guy to be there holding so that they could just drop and surprise them, and instead, they get shut down. Now, finally, Sharpie buys into that AWP, and the Ravens call attack timeout to just try and steady things, figure things out so they can close it here. They only need 4 more rounds to do so.
I would suspect they know that the AWP is in play now on the side of Nekomatas. They have to know at this point. It's all a matter of where that gun in Sharpie's hand decides to go here. We saw GCL when they were on the CT side holding down B, and that meant that Ravens were able to set up 2 in mid, 2 on A site. So maybe the same play, but
If I've got to say, before we came into this one, it was looking like, I think this might be a tech pause here, but there were some tech issues for the Ravens. Oh, they've lost a player. There were storms going on, and Hunter's Wi-Fi had gone in and out. And hopefully, this is just a reset, reconnect, that kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
But if not, they've got 10 minutes of tech pause to be able to use. 2 at 5 minutes. Or 10 minutes total, but 2 uses. I'd have to go check the rules. What am I, on rules committee or something? I am. As you know, that was it's the AVI curse is what we call it here. In fact, I've casted a match where we had an aviary player lose power. This was in map 3 of the grand final, or not grand finals, of like semis or quarters last season. Or 2 seasons ago actually. And it was a rough one to watch cuz they were making a comeback. They were playing strong on one map and they lost a player. But you know what? They will persevere no matter what happens here.
Can we cancel it out with our own caster curse? Can we say, oh, he's going to come back right, or he's not going to come back right now, and then
Oh yeah, no.
he'll come back?
There's no way he comes back in. I just got a DM from Hawkish. Gonna leak it live on stream. He said, "Pain. I'm in so much pain." As Hawkish was also in that game where they lost a player due to power issues.
Oh
Hawkish
no.
knows how this feels. It's at such a pivotal moment in map 1 here. This is their map to win at this point, given it's their map choice. They're on the T side. They were setting the pace. Hunter was just plowing through him, didn't leave a single thing up to chance, just hitting all those headshots. And now, well, just by chance, he's lost power. And hopefully he can be back within the allotted time for a tech timeout. Because we want to see the Ravens at full power. We want to see the Nekomatas, who are now at full power, given Sharpie's got the op out. We want to see him go head to head.
Yeah. Nekomata's really giving him a run for their money. They've made it to 10 very early. That was 5 rounds ago. Ravens on a streak right now, but during the regular season, Ravens had 2 games where either them or the other team made it to double digits. Every other game was not even close, whether they were getting blown out or winning by a mile. So Nekomata's definitely putting some pressure on them, and this tech timeout probably not too great for their mental, but see who can focus up once we come back here.
All right. We're just chilling, watching all these fun little camera angles. We really get to appreciate them. You don't usually see them back to back. As oh, we're gonna watch. It's gonna go. Oh, it goes right past. It's so
Oh.
satisfying.
I love that little spot that's inaccessible down there where we just were.
hmm
There's a
Sometimes I like to
retake.
imagine what it'd be like if you could get in some of those spots.
You can on that one. There's a there's a retake server I would play on all the time last month, and the CT spawns were bugged, so one of the CTs would always spawn down there, and you couldn't get out. Just had to kill yourself
Amazing.
or just have fun jumping around on the forklifts.
It's like on Dust 2 Catwalk. There's a little like room with bar doors on it,
Yeah. Yep.
and just you can like no clip in there and just be chilling. uh Map 2 of this series would be Nuke, that was picked by the Nekomatas. Should be one they're much more comfortable on. We'll see what the Ravens have got in store on that map. And we'll see if we make it to a map 3. Right now, I'm just hoping that we get to finish up map 1 without, having the 5v4 Sag in the chat moment. So I just want to clear up some misinformation. I mentioned losing power and I mentioned Lee. Lee was just a player on that team. Lee also was a sub for elite playoffs when they lost a player because AVI always loses players in playoffs. This is just how we do it. All right, we'll go ahead and take a deep breath. At this point now, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Hunter Bubba seems to be offline now in Discord as well. It's so
Oh.
sad. Let's let's change subjects. Let's talk about April Fools cuz that's what day it is today. And I wish this was just an April Fool's joke.
If only. That would be a cruel one, but did you see any good April Fool's jokes today?
That was a
That's
we
gotta
put a
be
lot of work into this one. AVI, we've changed all of it. We're now the chickens. We've got, our various teams like the Roosters and the Chickens and the Nuggets. It's lovely. It's lovely. Technically, yeah, we should be casting this one saying the Chickens playing up against the Nekomatas.
What a menacing name.
Honestly, terrifying. Have you seen that like fan mod where or like fan animation where it's the chickens with like guns and they're just like going around killing all the T's?
Yeah.
My dad knows very little about Counter-Strike, but he knows that there are chickens and he's like, if you kill the chickens, the next round the chickens should kill you.
Yeah, there's got to be some retribution. There was one game that Anani and I casted during the regular season. Somebody kept killing the chickens, and it was making my blood boil. Oh, man.
Hey, I love to do it. They always get in my nades. They're in the way. Okay? They deserve it. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Is this going to just turn into a debate? Should you kill chickens in CS?
If only you could turn them into nice little chicken nuggies.
You drop a Molotov on them?
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. I love me some chicken tendies, chicken nuggies. That's what I had for lunch today. Actually,
Oh,
both of my meals have been chicken. I had some like rosemary lemon chicken
ooh,
nuggies for
fancy.
lunch. Respect to producer observer Anani for enjoying the chicken nuggies right now as we're watching this match. That's the best way to enjoy Counter Strike.
Sounds like heaven to me.
Oh
Counter
yeah.
Strike and chicken nuggets.
All right. It hasn't even been 10 minutes. We're just sitting here waiting, seeing if these players we see. Oh no, this is not a good sign. Hunter Bubba in the team chat just said luck was not with us.
Oh boy.
Hopefully lucky enough to get power back and be able to jump into this one. Either way, at least they'll be able to bring in a sub for map 2. Luckily that is how playoffs work. You can between map sub. That's how we got like Lee playing in the elite playoffs just randomly. And that's how we got that team winning elite. Shout out to that elite team in season 8 for winning it all. We've seen teams come back from other rough circumstances. We've seen crazier happen. What's the craziest thing you've seen on stream?
I mean, chickens being killed.
It's
Now that we've brought that up, it's in my mind.
in your mind. Chickens are always at the back of my mind because I always kill them and then I don't see them.
That's cruel. What's the you've seen something crazier than the murder of innocent animals?
um, Kando with like a 1.4 rating over all of playoffs last season.
Wow.
That I was
Was
casting those games and I was like, okay, Kando's gonna peak this. There's no way that he gets that. Okay, he got the kill. Okay, there's players on site. There's no way okay, he got like it was ridiculous. There has been some crazy stuff that we've been able to see from some of these playoff games in the past that I remember. I've seen some crazy performances. I always love when we see one player pop off through playoffs
mm.
because it's so exciting. Though I think the player that was popping off most was Hunter, who's disconnected. As a member of the aviary, this is also our like final shot at winning a
Oh
tier.
boy.
So like, come on, let's pick it up, guys. Oh, Sans with a very good suggestion for crazy moments. Triton 4K double collateral on the op. Triton with a no scope. Oh, double collateral. The mic peaking added to it, as now it looks like the tech pause
Oh.
time has finally finished. A sort of surprise as we jump back into it now. Oh,
Boy.
real awkward here for the T's. I don't know if they just plan to waste time and hope that Hunter can get back in, or maybe they just want to try something crazy and hope that they can win this one out.
Yeah, that's tough. Looks like they are taking it fairly slow here.
I mean, if they can just, and this is not easy by any measure, but if they get the entry in a round, then it's a 4-on-4, and then that's a very doable round. The thing is, it's tough to get the entry because, I mean, if you ever look at the stat sheet, you see that 5-on-4 versus 4v5 win percentage, and it's usually like 70-30.
Also tough to get the entry because their entry fragger is the one that's missing.
Oh yeah. And because there's an entire extra belt of util on the side of the Nekomatas. Oh,
Here
GCL
we
though?
go.
That's an op pick on A. They grab that, but Sharpie, immediate response, and op on B. And so now they're going to group in towards this A site together, 3v4. GCL, oversight towards the top of the ramp as Hawkish walks up. First contact with the bomb. There's a
20
player slipping
seconds.
into side hall. Gonna hear them as they come up. It's a flash into the site that Pinecone can dodge. And now they're up straight through a molly. Tuggle, Hala, kill a piece. And that's gonna be that. Sadly, it might be a whimper here for the Ravens.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate. We're able to waste a little bit of time, so if they're trying to play that long game, might work out, but double op, T side. Being pulled out. Maybe hoping that Nekomatas just start getting a little aggressive. Walk into their crosshairs and...
You know, I like the message from chat put in one of the broadcasters. I'll join the game. I had a 1.5 rating on Vertigo.
There
on
we go.
Thursday. So that'll work out. Professor almost catches a player. They've gone for double ops here. Their answer to getting entries is just 2 AWPs, but oh, they lose the first frag. A trade. They're going to need even more than that. Hawkish has crept up close here, playing around the right gen smoke. Dimitri with the spam. Nobody peeked too far to the right. There is an op trained on Cat. Bomb planted. Tuggle in on the flank. Has kill. Hawkish stuck between a... Dimitri stuck.
Ooh.
As a frag. Hawkish, another one. 1v2, and Sharpie shoots him in the back again. The Ravens just run out of manpower over near the end.
Yeah, that fight that Tugglebub won was huge. That meant that T's were trapped on site at that point. Nice attempt, and because they got the bomb down, they're sitting on a decent amount of money. Professor has 7,300, but it's like they will try to eco here, just an upgraded pistol, and this is gonna be tough now. Tie game, 2 AUGs and an op. They're going to be able to hold some super wide, deep angles against just some MAC-10s.
Honestly, creative thinking from the Ravens to just get 4 MAC-10s. But given that there's an op and 2 AUGs in play, it's going to be awkward. Oh, Hawkish.
That's the only player on B.
That was a creative little bait there, too. Gets the jiggle, even up close. That's damage. That's a kill onto Sharpie. Hawkish, that's a double. That's an opening. And they want to push it even further. Getting a player in Dimitri up close. Dimitri's going to go down. Hawkish scopes in on the angle, spots a player and makes contact, and now just falls back. 3v3 here. Not going to be easy. Professor and Hawkish both up on the generator. Playing up close, looking to surprise whoever is going to come through. It's a Reb, close right, and now a Pinecone up above. Tuggle. Oh, Professor!
Wow.
What? The MAC-10 comes through, damage onto all 3 players. I don't even know how that happened. The first 2 frags were instant. In the third, in the blink of an eye, the MAC-10 just a rain of bullets. And the Ravens, they're up to 13 now. They buy in again, and they've got hope. They've got something to fight for. Hunters brought them this far, but now even without that star entry fragger, they want to be the closers.
They are not out of this yet. And Nekomatas, they have 2 SMGs, no op in play. This is dangerous here. They do have B ramp control, so that's big. Last round, they only had 1 player here. Oh, and there's an angle.
Sharpie up close. Dimitri's already snuck to the other side of the smoke, and GCL has an entry. The question is, does Dimitri expect the player close? Professor's up through middle, drops the smoke. Go ahead and try to peek into B. They're crunching the site, but Sharpie's got the frag on stairs. And in the meanwhile, these mid players, do they expect close frag? Hawkish clears it, doesn't get the frag. Professor up through, but sprayed down by Mike. Valiant attempt, but a great position there from Mike to stop the split. And 13-13, now the rounds are split. Luckily, unluckily they're 4v5, but at least their money will be in an okay spot. They're going to partial it up here. GCL gets a Mac 10. Maybe some pace into this one, given they've got 2 Macs and a tech.
Again, nice buy from Nekomatas, but their economy not good. If they can win this round, there's a world where Nekomatas is forced to eco, and here comes the B play. Very fast again, GCL.
Oh, they might just keep abusing B at this point. The thing is, they've got to be able to get things in the post plant now. Hawkish scoops up an AK, playing close. GCL able to swing off of Hawk's contact now. He's stuck up towards Jen. All of these players gonna bring it through GCL. A little bit of an overpeak. Hawkish, that's one on his AK. Gets traded out, and Dimitri with the deagle can't find it. A good bomb plant there from the Ravens, but the Nekomatas take it back under control. 14 on the board. Only 1 more to match point. Only 2 more to victory. A little bit of a knife in the back. Again, Reb, great support player.
They're just getting too excited.
I like to make fun of the fact that he has the support tab, not because he's not supporting his team, but because Reb, they have like a 1.2 rating, and that is more than a support.
Mm-hmm. Nekomatas.
He's got to be the hero.
They've pushed 2 down B ramp again. Oh, and they do get some early damage onto Dimitri.
He has to molly it and run away. This is rough. Oh, frag up above. Professor adjusts. A little bit of damage, but not a kill. 4v4 now, but they're so lit. And they're just going to start scaling. They're going to start scaling, and Tuggle's going to get that frag. A player watching the flank. They might slow it down because there's 1:13. Oh, Hawkish creeped up close. Ooh. He eats the nade. That is an audio cue for Tuggle to be able to use, and so Hawkish has to give it up, has to get out of there. Gonna drop a smoke into the right side of the site, but Tuggle keeps pushing forward. That's frags across the board, and Dimitri, the flank holder, now has to become the clutcher. Unlikely to happen here, and so if they even want a chance at it, it's gonna have to be an overtime. Overtime, 4v5. I've only ever seen that in like Valve matchmaking.
It is possible, but gonna be tough here, especially with not a lot of money. Calling a timeout. They'll give it a try. Nothing to lose here. They know that next rounds or next map, they'll have a fresh start, so.
Yeah. They've even got their sub in and ready for next map. Able to pull up one of the prospect players. That's going to be Slatong to jump in if they're not able to get Hunter Bubba back. The Ravens, 3 Galils, a Mac 10. I think they do need the pace just to get these entries, and then once bomb's down, just hope that somebody can come up clutch like Professor did in that one round. The only round that they've won in the 4v5. They only need 2 more to bring us to OT, and once we're there, money's less of a concern. Molly down, Molly missing. That's crucial because now these players are out towards B, and they can just go ahead and send this exec. GCL dodges the flash, runs up close, but gets chewed up. There's 2 rifles here ready to receive them. And Professor, okay, deals with 1, but the player all the way in the back of the site strikes him down, so it's only Hawkish, the general manager, the IGL, the player who's been in this situation before, to creep close and get caught.
Oof.
No more. The Ravens They can't find a thing in that 4v5. Very unfortunate to have a player lose power due to a storm. But at least they've got a chance next map. Yes, this was their map pick. Yes, they're on the back foot. But honestly, if there's any time to step up, it's with a sub on your opponent's map pick already down. The pressure is off. All bets are off. Just
Hmm.
throw caution to the wind and go at it.
Yeah, we'll see what they can bring. Definitely, definitely a chance.
All right. Well, as we begin to get this second map of Nuke ready, we might even need to do a little bit of technical wizardry to get this sub in. I'm not sure what the tech committee's got going on for this. But either way, we've got a little bit of a break between these two maps. So we're going to go ahead and just throw it to a break, and we'll be right back. Whoa. It's map 2. Just like that, Ravens have found a sub last minute to go ahead and pull in. It's knife round, and of course Ravens get to choose on the Nekomatas map pick what side they're going to go with. So the Nekomatas all have fun stabbing each other. It's a good little team bonding exercise here. Reb and Mike. Reb's going to win out the 1v1, gets that pick up onto Mike, and now there's 3 players on that Ravens side for Reb to just go ahead and die to, because that's the whole point of this. GCL stabs him down. I assume Ravens are going to pick CT here. It would make sense to start on that defensive side, given everyone usually considers Nuke to be more CT-sided, though things have shifted back and forth with the A1S getting more powerful and less powerful. As, yep, they go ahead and select CT, and now we get into it. Map 2, map 1 was won by the Nekomatas, as Ravens had an unfortunate disconnect at 12-12, a crucial moment where they seemed to be pulling ahead, and instead they lost a player. Either way, now they've got their sub in, and so now we're on to map 2. I'm Fuffy, co-caster Marky, and Banana Mouse on the observing, as we're going to be able to jump into this one. A quick correction of the HUD, as again, Nekomatas won map 1 of Vertigo. That was the Ravens pick, and now here on this next map, we see the Nekomatas just flooding out of HUD. Dimitri gets an entry, but oh, frags back and forth. Hawkish gets gooshed over in mini, so decides doesn't really want to peek forward anymore. And so it's a retake with 1 flashbang on GCL. Armor on, oh, some of these players, but Professor's just straight out of HUT with a frag. GCL into heaven, 2 quick headshots, and they can't even get the bomb down. I'm running out of breath as I cast this one, because that was a quick, a speedy, expeditious retake there from the Ravens.
Very, very quick. They want to get things going here. Obviously losing that first map under unfortunate circumstances, and they'll be starting the CT side of Nuke 1 up. They just want to start steamrolling here, get back into this game, and 5 SMGs trying to mow them down.
Oh yeah, this is an SMG battle as they're sprinting into ramp. Knife out. Oh, they don't expect the quick contacts, but Mike sprays down 2 on the MAC-10. Slatong's in through lobby to get 1 back, but it's advantage Nekomatas. Dimitri is already behind. The Sharpie's getting damaged. This round is full W holding to the max, and I love it. MAC-10s, oh, make it 1 MAC-10 of Reb up close, spots out Dimitri, gets the damage. Slatong swinging the left side, and Slatong with the headshot. Bomb planted. Astralis gonna go ahead and defuse that, and that is the prospect sub of recent even trade over from AP to AVI, now coming in to join this contender team and to try to steal away the Nekomatas map pick and bring us to map 3. And it's working so far.
Oh yeah, Sleeton getting right into this game, getting all warmed up. 3K. We'll have a ton of money, and they're able to drop over an AWP to GCL with the 3K on the SMG, so that's coming right out. Ravens do not want to lose control of this CT side.
All right, it's Tech9s again, and they are okay. Outside. Outside is the play here as the pistols get flashed off. We see both GCL and Hawkish sort of on this angle. Hawkish up close, Red in GCL's back garage, and Hawkish, he might have heard those footsteps away, because creeping all the way around. Hawkish wants to take matters into his own hands, clears so much of this control. Question is, does he check that roof? Oh, a player's seen in the corner. I think he might have spotted it, or at least heard it, because now the A-exec nades run. They fly into the site. These players try to just filter out of HUT. Completely surrounded. Dimitri gets taken down, but Slatong's in the site with the MAC-10. Up in heaven, GCL. Oh, gets fragged down by Sharpie. But finally, Professor finishes with the flank. Hawkish's flank doesn't really come to fruition. Anything past the fact that he got the information to go ahead and stack A. And Professor even scoops up the op. So that being recovered, money's in a good spot for the Ravens. And now into round 4, because the Nekomatas went for that 4 spy. Now is when we see their guns come out, and it's full rifles across the board. here to kick things off.
Yeah, this is the important one here. Nekomatas want to get back into this game. It is big that Professor was able to pick up that op just at the last second, so that's still in play here.
I'm curious what they're going to decide to go for with this op. If they want to keep it mobile, rotate it around, or right now we see GCL sitting back ramp. A nice find from Dimitri. That's an opening there onto one of these outside players. Pinecone also sitting there waiting, gonna get a smoke in the face, and in the meanwhile, Professor is creeping up secret. Doesn't spot anything because the cover of that box. But if Pinecone wants to step forward anymore, he's gonna have to meet the fury of that A1S, and it's Dimitri getting a second. Now Professor strikes. Sharpie has one back onto Dimitri, but they're not exactly sure where to end, and if they decide to come ramp, that's where the AWP of GCL is waiting. A flash in, it's going to be too deep. They're going to run it at him, and GCL is going to shut him down. Second shot, a little wide, but the third is clean on the headshot, and that is the Ravens. 4-0, they brave the first gun round.
Nekomatas immediately coming in with a timeout. Want to talk through probably whether they want to buy into this round or not. GCL, you mentioned it. They're moving that op around already. 2 rounds. First time it was outside. Second time it was in ramp. And it's definitely dangerous if you don't know where that's going to be. Especially with Nekomatas not having any sort of util, at least for this rounds.
And it's not like they were weak on the outside hold without the op. They got the rifles. They got a player up secret, Dimitri with an opening, and then we see Professor sort of pop up from secret to catch Pinecone off. Ravens are doing great being dynamic here on their CT side of nuke. We might see this go to map 3 either way. That being said, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's just the first map. It's just round 5, and it's just 3 Tech 9s, a Galil, and a Mac 10 for the Nekomatas. Outside nades raining in. A flash on the cross, but GCL still gets one pick. Hawkish, oh, crossing deep. GCL has another. Hawk is going to go down, and they're going to get one player down secret. Flash in front to try to cross even more, but they're just kind of stuck here at red. And in the meanwhile, the rotate down vent means that Mike can be nullified, or at least the threat of Mike having run all the way through here is nullified. Now, as he sprints up, yep, Dimitri slaps him down.
Easy clean up there. Sleeton finding a couple more. Them and GCL both at 7 frags already, and that's 5-0. Very nice start for the Ravens. You'd love to see Nekomatas try maybe an A hit here again. GCL being pretty proactive with the op. A little more difficult to find some angles to hold in the A site, and so what's interesting is last round they had 2 players outside, the round before that as well. So if they're keeping 2 players to hold on the outside angle, that means A side's going to be a little weaker on the defense, so let's see what they decide to do here. A few players lined up in lobby, squeaky door blown off.
That's good damage. It's a little something, the threat through Squeaky. The tough part is, how do they want to find these opening picks, and instead they lose one to Dimitri again. Oh, mini drop from Pinecone, pulling the twist, and he breaks the Ravens' backs. Straight in through mini to get those frags, but this ain't no Canada. This round ain't over yet, and now it's only Mike up on the site. 5-5 right now. 1v2. Here's GCL up in heaven, looking at it, but Hawk creeps around the side. The GM with the final frag, and the Ravens up to 6-0.
Huge retake from them to keep the train rolling. Very nice communication on the retake there. They had 2 players from ramp getting into lobby so quick after that plant went down, and it just kind of threw Nekomatas off. Nice job in that 2-on-1 as well. GCL on the op trying to retake from heaven. That's a very tough angle, obviously, and it's just baited out the sound for his teammate to swoop in from behind, find that, and there's 6 for them. Very nice start.
I gotta say, I like the little gap they found. I like now as they're throwing, it looks like, yeah, traditional secret cross smokes and pine cone. Oh, goes around to the left. They wanted to do deep smokes, and Hawkish finds one in the side, finally sprayed through the smoke. Just holding W. Tuggle running all the way up into it. Dimitri stuck here up close, and that's an op up close of GCL. Hits a no-scope. What was that? Dimitri has another frag. This player finally gets one back. That's Tuggle in Garage, but again, it's traded out immediately. The Ravens ready for whatever the Nekomatas throw at him outside. And now Mike is going to throw it all through the hut. Finds timing, but the bomb's outside. And so he's going to creep mini. Oh, spotted and tagged up by that op. Now just going to back on away. And might even just save this one. The loss bonus is high enough you could justify trying to take away some weapons, but how are you even going to peek in to that AWP Professor even there on the angle? Mike completely stuck and finally fragged by Slatong. The Ravens are out for revenge after that 4v5 first map.
Yeah, for real. They know that they had a chance on Vertigo. They really want to push this to the 3rd. And this is getting very scary. They've been able to keep enough alive where their economy is building, building, building. 2 AKs as well. Very dangerous for them. Once again, Nekomatas just onto some upgraded pistols. Still a possibility of doing some damage here.
There's no second cross smoke. They're spotted and they're sprayed. That's damage. At least they stay alive. And oh, even damage back in response. Now down into the B site. There's a player down below with them. It's Professor. And oh, the Professor's got a lesson to teach him. He says, this B site is mine. Great damage on the AK. But in the meanwhile, what, this entire time they've lost A. They've lost players. They've lost frags. This lobby fight is going to be everything. GCL on the op wins it out. Tuggle wants to come up to re-clear. Does GCL hold it? No, GCL walks hut instead. This is all about timings. And the timing might favor GCL as he slips out around the side. Shot missed. First one on the op. Oh, but Professor's come in now. Knows Tuggle is close here, and Professor's got a smoke, got a kit. Gonna go ahead and drop the smoke on a flash in front. And he's just sticking. He's just sticking. The spray
the flash!
from Tuggle, it all goes wide. The flash worked not for long enough. Such low HP that finally the Nekomatas, they pencil in that first round, but it's just barely.
Man, almost. Professor with the 3K. That flash was perfect. They were so lit. Little HP, that was really their only option, and what a nice try it was, but yeah, Nekomatas do pull one off here, and they're gonna have to find one more before the economy breaks for the CTs. They're trying these outside smokes. That went
threw it over the fence.
through the fence.
Oh, Hawkish going deep outside again. This time it's a mistake. At least the nade confirms the trade for GCL. Flashes deep. They've got the L smokes landed, and oh, they want to send a player through credit card, I think. Good flash onto GCL, but he recovers in time to get the frag. Now everything comes to a slowdown, comes to a standstill as Reb has bomb up close. Sharpie is holding secret, has to adjust down, and does so perfectly to find Dimitri. There's a second player here on B who's walking secret. I don't think Sharpie's going to expect that. So it's all about whether they are exposed to that angle. Molly confirms Sharpie's position, and yeah, no way they're expecting Professor up close. Reb has stayed garage this entire time. Is GCL holding for it? Oh, not immediately, but unscopes to go ahead and check. And now Reb's completely stuck because Slatong has found a frag out on A. Professor creeps up, didn't expect the player garage, good damage, and GCL finishes. Great work from the Ravens there to keep their composure. The second player up secret was so unexpected, and they held everything else perfectly, so the Nekomatas couldn't get an inch.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I thought that Reb might have heard that second player rotating up from secret. It looked like they were running at one point, but unfortunately not, and that's going to be another tactical timeout called from Nekomatas. They will have a bye here, Mac 10 out on Mike, so maybe they want to do something a little faster. Love to see an A hit. They keep getting shut down outside, unfortunately, a couple smokes being missed, or the Ravens continue to put 2 outside, even with the op out there, so they can pull off something fast, maybe sneak a quick one in, and Ravens economy still not super healthy, even though they're up 8-1, so if they're able to win one here, Nekomatas could find a way back into this game.
They could. It's all about not faltering if you're the Ravens. Don't give anything up. As the Nekomatas, if they get that inch, they will take a mile. Nade's early into Squeaky here, but they're just going to run out hut. This is an exec. Molly's landing in the site, but Dimitri's got the first. They're running out. They can't find where he is, but finally the double entry comes through. This is the openings that the Ravens wanted, and now it's all about stopping that retake, trying to stop Professor, who just bulldozes in through heaven, has 2 on the A1S, and now this retake is oh so possible. Nade not going to make contact, going to molly out the back of the site, but Sharpie is up close. This is a tough shot for GCL to try to hit, but he still hits it. He hits it, and as Hawkish slips out, he's going to reveal where that last player was. Unfortunate drop from GCL. Forgot their parachute, and so the Nekomatas pick up a second round.
You hate to see it. GCL just so much of a killing machine that can't help it but kill themselves as well. 12-5 on them, and Nekomatas, they do win that, and that does mean an eco here for the Ravens, so a third definitely possible. Ooh.
You know, good there. They're trying something unique with the pistols, but shut down by the superior weaponry. And Nekomatas, this round should just be a cleanup. It makes sense for Slatong to try to save this, but could also could go for damage. Slatong was low money. This was an awkward buy, actually. I just realized it. Hawkish and GCL have enough to buy in, but the other 3 players don't. Perhaps a mistake, perhaps a miscomm. They might just fix it and equalize their money here. But that means the Nekomatas would get up to 4, and that's a scary prospect for how well the Ravens have done for the rest of this half.
Yeah, Sharpie bringing out the op as well. I would love to see them this round try the outside play because they certainly have the advantage. Just an SMG and a Nova actually on Dimitri. See if they can find something. I'd love to see that. Definitely have a nice angle. Oh, but they walk right in.
Dang.
Easy as it gets for Nekomatas. That's 4. 3 in a row. Building some momentum in the second half of the first half. GCL has the op out.
You know, that's a good sign. GCL doing well. I mentioned if GCL stands up to Sharpie in the op head-to-head, the Ravens have a really good shot. GCL's really stepping up, especially now that we see they've got no Hunter, their main star player. Triple smokes land outside, and again Hawkish strays through, and again goes to his death. You can send rotates down vents. You have other ways to fight. You can do close smokes. You can get cover. But if you just run out into the open, you will get punished, my friend.
Ooh.
Sharpie keeps posted on the flank. Player down vents, and there's a player already on B site. Professor's here. Dimitri gets quick scope, but Professor has 3. That A1S is deadly. Sharpie Last alive now in this clutch. Op in hand, GCL strafing out to try to find him. Great shot from Sharpie. Peeks back down below, spots the player up top,
Oh.
shoots the one below, and knows where GCL is because they saw them on the jiggle. One bullet and only one shot required. Scoped in, expecting that angle behind the
Oh.
side, and Sharpie! A beautiful clutch. Those shots were immaculate. 1 versus 4 there on B to get the Nekomatas a 5th round.
What a huge play on Sharpie. We saw that op head-to-head in the one-on-one. Just got the better of GCL, and that was just all down to info and some crazy shots. That first flick onto the player coming out of ramp was wild, and then they're just able to spot out both at the same time for the last two. That is huge. 5 now on Nekomatas. And Ravens forced to an eco.
This is rough. This is real rough right now. Tuggle up close. 1 dig by Dimitri. Doesn't realize the pine cone was around the other side though. So, as they fall, it's just 1 casualty so far.
Check your corners.
Okay. GCL's got that one. Sharpie's on it with the op though, and so an attempt at a pre-fire, but just barely off with the crosshair placement. Sharpie, of course, never off with the flick. Finds that op headshot, and now the best that the Ravens can get is a 9-6 half, and even then, it is looking sketch.
Yeah, Sharpie just starting to activate in the later stages of this half. 16 frags now. Leading their team. Leading the server. If they can find a 7th, that would be massive. 6 is definitely doable still. But...
Sharpie showing why they were the 2nd overall pick in Contender. Mike takes Dimitri's head off. That's the squeaky fight. Finally won for the Nekomatas as everything seems to be going their way. Smoke lands in mini. Molly's gonna land on the site, and as they run out, Sharpie and Rep, the 2 stars of the team, getting it all done. Only GCL left up, and this is clutch he's got to go for, but one nobody wants to be in. First shot's good. If there's anybody to rival what Sharpie did there on B, it could be GCL here on A, but this would be an ace 1v5. Oh, smoke down, creeps up around, spots the player high, but the one low gets him. Sharpie finishes off the half 18 and 10, and it's 7-8. The Nekomatas, a streak of 6 rounds at the end.
That is just huge. Sharpie looking very sharp. It was starting to look like a runaway for the Ravens, but they're still in this game. Pistol round will matter a whole lot. It always does, but we'll see what happens here. Scary prospect, though, that Sharpie is looking so good already and is now switching to the easier side for that op. They can definitely continue to shut things down.
I think this pistol's important. I think the Ravens, given that they're lacking Hunter, are going to have a tougher time on the T side. So we're going to see how they can get off here on the start. If they can get off to a good start and they put the Nekomatas down in the dumps for economy, then I think the Ravens have a good shot. But otherwise, I'm worried for their prospects here in this one as we get things underway. 3 dual Berettas in the hands of the Nekomatas. Smoke flash for Slatong, and they're going ramp together. They're going quick, and they're running into the dualies. And yet it's a 1-for-1. Now the Glocks come through, and the Glocks come out on top. But in the meanwhile, there's a flank. There's a flank. GCL is close right, getting pre-fired at and tapped down. Dimitri sticks this bomb plant. But it's a real rough one to be in. Getting peppered by the dualies, and finally Sharpie with a headshot. Bomb plant means Ravens are likely going to force up and give it a shot in round number 17, excuse me. But for now, round 16 goes the way of the Nekomatas, and we're dead even.
Yeah, that is about as aggressive as a CTE side can get. 3 dualies just immediately rush trophy as soon as Ravens decide to go there, and 3 Galils. They really do have the advantage in terms of weaponry here.
Yeah. I mean, when you get that plant down, the second rounds are very dangerous. Smoke outside, double push
Oh, that's the
ramp.
bomb.
This is aggression. Oh, this aggression. I would say it cancels out the better guns, but finally the Galil into play here from Dimitri, coming into ramp. That's another frag. Knows that one is close, but oh, looks the wrong way. A little bit of a mistake, a little bit of a misstep. Now bomb down. Luckily GCL sees under the smoke. Whew. Everything's all good. Slatong even grabs a FAMAS. I don't know why anyone would do that. And the Ravens, they pull back into the lead.
Yeah, very close one there. The double ramp push, and they dropped the bomb. It was only down to the fact that Ravens were able to find frags basically everywhere else that they stayed in that round, and now, yeah, 5 rifles versus just a couple SMGs, some upgraded pistols. Hopefully, should be a 10th for them, and although they didn't win the pistol, this is just as good.
Yeah, if not better, now that the money is in such a tough spot for the Nekomatas. Not out of the woods yet, though. They've still got to deal with it. They've got 1 AK, 3 Galils and a FAMAS. Shout out to Foots, FAMAS OP on T side. Classic team. Ooh. Dimitri escapes with his life at least. He was the X factor in the previous round, and now they lost Professor. That was the AK. It's at least recovered, but the B players dropped into ramp. Luckily, Slatong deals with the pistol of Sharpie up above. Mike is completely trapped down here, but there's 2 of them. Tugglebub draws all the attention, and I don't think Mike is getting cleared. Yeah, they're down into it. Hawkish doesn't realize it. He's going to try to plant. There's a player on the doors and a player in dark. They deal with the dark player. The door one swings it, though, and now this is awkward, but Slatong's got the cover. Perfect shot there onto back sight, and now Reb, they know he was the last alive. They don't know where Reb is from, and as they plant, Reb gives it away with the shot, but Slatong can't hit it. GCL into a 1v1. Both these players 2 frags in the round. Let's see who gets to 3. Reb creeps out close, creeps out below, clearing, walking, spinning, doesn't see it. GCL's gotten all the way around, and Reb, as he swings to the side, he figures it out. Reb wins out the 1 versus 2. 5-7 and MP9 in hand. Gets the Nekomatas up to 9, and this continues neck and neck.
Wow. Just comes down to the tiniest of margins. Unfortunate. I am surprised that GCL just didn't keep holding that angle. Reb was so lit, and I would have thought that would be communicated over, so they would just need that one shot, but some very awkward play up in the rafters. And boy, yeah, tying it back up. Ravens forced to Glocks. Not the ideal situation now.
Walk outside here. It's interesting just how aggressive Reb is getting, how in their face. Gonna get spotted out. Gonna realize it's just Glocks that they're up against once he makes contact onto Professor. And so should seal the deal on that kill. Pinecone. Gonna grab a couple as well. Oh, he didn't clear it. Oh, saw the shadow. Okay, there we go. Reality is restored. The Nekomatas are up to 10. And now the Ravens are gonna have a buy-in. They're gonna face a full buy. And they're gonna have to come out on top.
Yeah, there's the op from Sharpie coming out as well.
Yeah, we'll see how Sharpie goes ahead and uses notices it. They're breaking the glass here early. Yep. Drop Somali. There we go. Finally got a crosshair on the screen as well. Seems to have been good. Oh, nope. The crosshair's gone. It's something with the util. I don't know. That'll happen. Either way, there. G-
Oh,
GCL onto Sharpie. That is an AK onto an op, and that is an opening frag and a half. The smoke drops close, but they don't care because Hawkish has got another frag, and they are just going up heaven. Bomb drop behind. Professor gets a trade there into the site, and now all they have to do is scoop up this bomb and plant it on A. The thing is, do they realize it? Professor runs past. Reb's here close smoke. Reb could play spoiler if this smoke fades before they can get the plant.
and it just might. The fact that they had to run all the way back outside lobby to grab that bomb.
Oh, makes up heaven now as well. Oh, but the player rafters spots them, and so both frags come through. Everything is all right for the Ravens off of a beautiful entry from GCL. I love the crosshair placement there on ramp. Now they even get GCL that op. Continue to try and get these openings. 10 to 10. It's anyone's game. Ravens on the T side get to set the pace. But Nekomatas, in theory, are on the favored side on their own map pick. This one would sting to give up and have to go to that map 3. It's Ancient waiting there as the decider if we end up going to it. But right now, all eyes are on Nuke as deep secret cross smokes land. And they're just going to start sending it. Oh, rush outside here from the CTs. And they've gotten 3 frags. They've gotten so much, at least GCL has the bomb to go ahead and escape. But this is a heartbreaker.
This is really scary here. There's no kits. If they can get the bomb down, that'll be huge. Nekomatas will be forced to retake. They do have guns now, but...
Well, it's a little bit scary because as these fake plants come through, it's more time for the rotates. But now, bomb down, Slatong gets into position here behind the site. In the meanwhile, teammate takes control of ramp. All the players are coming down from the side. Oh, spray just above Mike, giving Slatong a haircut. Oh, Slatong happy to be alive there in the back of the site, but not for long. Pinecone gets it. GCL with 1. This would be a 1v3. Flips around to this other side of the site, looking, spotting, but there's a player close. Sharpie crept all the way up, and so defuse from the Nekomatas. There should be time, right? Right? Yes, there is. Just barely. That was so close. But now the Nekomatas winning out an eco. It puts them right back in the advantage. As soon as it swings one way, we just seem to swing right back.
Yeah, this is just crazy that it keeps going back and forth. It's going to be a full buy coming out from both teams here as we get into the last third of this map. No team able to build an economy yet. If either of them can string a few rounds together, that just could be devastating. Enough to take it, but not yet.
Oh, mini smoke lands. They're just waiting. It's a drop from Pinecone Herd. And another flash onto him. Smoke comes out. It's a little bit deep. Oh, and they're going to run through it. A good trade. Tugglebow caught in the open. And after this flurry of frags, we end up in a 2-on-2. GCL outside has crept forward, but Mike has taken map control in response. Slatong flips into second vent, holding up towards heaven, and that's where Sharpie gets the frag. Now Slatong, left alive in this clutch, has to figure out where these last 2 CTs are. Bomb can be recovered, but there's no util to section off these angles, and so it's just got to be fights. It's just got to be headshots. Front sight, taps it, waiting for a peek. That steps from Mike. That steps heard a headshot, but nothing more. Mike with the spray down in the end. Nekomatas up to 12. And the Ravens, through all of this chaos, through the fire and the flames, they get burned.
Yeah, Nekomata's just barely able to keep it together. That's 2 in a row for them. Sharpie up to 23 frags. Once again, Ravens on the eco. Should be the 13th.
We're going to send pistols into ramp here. Again, there's 2 players ramp. Sharpie's so fast rotating with the offense, like you see Simple or Monazy do on their own respective teams. Professor, what was that instant headshot? Even runs forward through the molly, doesn't get another. These pistols just full sprinting up, trying to catch Tuggle, but Tuggle not getting caught out. Even a nade to dunk onto him. That's a rough one. Grabs the op, gonna back all the way
beautiful.
up. Tuggle is playing this to perfection. Even the flank. Here we go. They deal with it. Tuggle's gotten the AWP. And so, it's 13-10, the Ravens. Again, it gets close. But now we see if they're able to close. GCL definitely having a strong nuke game so far. But it's got to be somebody else to step up around them. Perhaps it'll be Professor. Perhaps it'll be Hawkish to find some more impact. The in-game leader been a little bit quiet so far in this series.
Someone's got to do it. Looks like it's going to be... Oh, the one-way.
The one-way on roof. Do they recognize it? Oh, they're just crossing down. They don't care.
Oh.
Reb swings out to the side. Oh, jump up. GCL, is that a pistol? Can't do that, GCL. That's not a fight that any person should be taking. And definitely not winning. Slatong wins one. Instantly traded. Dimitri stuck here in the back of the site. Both players are Dimitri and Hawkish. Now just Hawkish. The GM has to come up clutch. Swings around the right side, but Sharpie's got the op kill. 14 on the board for the Nekomatas. Ravens at least get bombed down. With their loss bonus, will be able to buy in. This may be the last buy they have.
Yeah, they need to find this one. Timeout being called. They know how important this round is. Nekomatas 4 in a row now. Their economy is building up. They'll have a few buys even if they don't win this one. It's going to be very tough for Ravens to get back into this game.
If the Ravens are going to do it, I think they need an opening. On each of these rounds that they win, they need to get that entry. Once they're able to do that, the entire map opens up so much. But the thing is, when you've got Sharpie and Reb sitting on the other side, how are you going to even find those openings?
Yeah, it's tough. It seems like Sharpie's just there to back up the defense on wherever Ravens decide to go, keeping it around heaven and hell. They're just able to rotate towards ramp so fast, and there's a very quick play. That's awkward.
Oh.
2 from Mike. Doesn't even need Sharpie's backup that time.
And Sharpie does come through. And that's going to mean a player goes down. Oh, GCL holds that perfectly. It's a 3-on-3. That's one of the A players down. They could decide to reroute. They could even decide to send it back outside, drop vent, whatever they want to do. The map is their playground, and there's a minute 15 to do it. Tugglebub has dropped lower, and they're going to walk outside.
This is a great play. CT's still very occupied by the thought of ramp having T's there. There's a player up secret, though. Tugglebug finds one. Now the jig is up. They know exactly where these T's are. They have a sight, though. Look at this.
Yeah. Pretty good. The molly reveals that there's a player in fence. They're going to plant towards heaven. Does Sharpie come forward? Just drops a flash. That's going to bait the gun to come out from GCL, and that means Sharpie probably doesn't even peek at all. Drops the one-way instead. GCL, you've been played, my friend. Sharpie's wasted so much time off this clock. Now the bomb going to go down. GCL realizes they just have to stick. And Slatong up close vent wants to punish anyone who runs through. These players have just tucked entirely into the site. Slatong, oh, doesn't see anything. Just playing tucked. You can't overpeak. You can't give it away to Sharpie, and instead, That's the life
Ooh.
taken from GCL. Drops into a 1v1 because Latong goes 1-4-1 on the vent. And so it's Tuggle. Creep up close, comes around the right side, but GCL swings the left. Such great decision making. GCL wants to take this game into their own hands, wants to be the player to make a difference. And right now, what a difference that has made the economy in a recoverable spot because guns can be dropped over, but still looking vulnerable for the Nekomatas. While the Ravens, they've got an AK, op, some Galils as well in the mix, but they're in a pretty decent spot right now. Hope is back on the menu.
Oh, made
instant
out.
A. This is a pace change. This is a
Oh.
pace change, and that's a double entry from Dimitri. Breaks the site open. Yes, he extends to his death, but he's done all he needs. Bomb going to get planted. And a lobby player coming through. GCL makes contact. GCL goes down, but Professor has the trade. 3v2. They just hold here in this post plant. Sharpie's got the op. If they go for this retake and they lose it, that's that. That's the economy thrown away. And so do they even want to do it? Sharpie is walking away. This may be round 12 conceded for the Ravens. They're going to grab it off the back of Dimitri's double entry, and they're even hunting to lock this op in. Hawkish knows.
Oh, they saw him.
Hawkish knows the spray goes wide, but he finally finds it. That is everything taken away. No op to be recovered here for the Nekomatas. And in the meanwhile, the Ravens, it's a confidence booster.
That is huge. Map is not done yet. Series is not done yet. Huge aggro A play to just go right in and find the kills with the Gleals. And unfortunately, Sharpie just was not there in time. Trying to rotate up, having to support, but both players going down way too fast for that. This is dangerous, though.
Oh, this is the rush. This is the rush again. Instant A flashes. Professor's up close, has the frag. Hawkish running out. Oh, everybody's got it. They just destroy the purchase in. Halapinecone's the only one with money right now. Nekomatas, they are looking disjointed.
That is wild. 13 now found for Ravens. One round away from tying it up just at the last minute here. Think they go for 3 A rushes in a row?
I mean, honestly,
It's working.
if I'm Hawkish, I might call it, or at least throw some of that util and see how they respond. It's going to be a shaky buy, so slowing it down would make sense. Uh-oh. If they run into ramp here, this will be an issue, and it looks like they're faking A and going ramp. They're going to hold, though, so they're going to find Tuggle on the close walk-up. Tuggle and Sharpie. They're creeping close. Professor is waiting. Does Professor have the shot? He flicks over. That's going to be one, but Sharpie's up close. They don't realize it. Now at least the trades are coming through. Can they bulldoze past this final one? It's Slatong, and Slatong says yes. Now they're in. Now they're down to B. And so bomb can get planted, and everything will be okay. The Ravens can sleep happy in their nest tonight, as it should be tied up now 14-14.
That was very, very close. Reb should be able to save a gun here. They walked right into that stack and just barely come out alive.
This game has overtime written all over it.
I agree. Would love to see it. Shout out Sleeton stepping up as the sub for their team. Found 2 that round. With 21 frags now.
Slatong, a star on the prospect side of things now. Stepping up to contender and can contend with the big guns. This is exciting. This is getting my heart pumping. As an AVI fan myself, I want the Ravens to bring us to map 3. As a Counter-Strike fan, I want to see map 3. But I don't want the Nekomatas to go quietly. Guns out, op in the hands of GCL. They're going to throw some outside smokes, and they're just going to poke and prod on this default. Oh, it's Secret Cross, and they're just trying to bait a reaction. Here the smokes land. Now Dimitri is going to get ready to smoke a mini. Lining that one up. creeps to the side. There's the throw, and I think they're just sending it in A. Yeah, Professor's ready on the door, and they've drawn so much attention with the outside smokes. There's 2 players watching it, now completely stuck. Tugglebub's in mini and has no way to respond. Only a nade he can send through, but gets sprayed down through it. Heaven player completely caught out, but Pinecone's in the back of the site. Professor has to have this one, finally trades it, but not after Pinecone gets 2. And so a 3-on-3, bomb going down, and Sharpie in from Heaven gets another. Eats damage on the Molotov, but Sharpie keeps going, and so that is going to be a round back for the Nekomatas.
You said overtime. We're gonna get all 30 rounds here, and Ravens will have a bye. They have plenty of money for this. They can do whatever they want. But the op is picked up for Nekomatas as well. So that'll go over to Sharpie, sitting at 29 frags through regulation. Just if they can find a couple more for the team, they can pull this across the line and finish the series 2-0.
They're gonna... Oh, what did they want to do? GCL on the op, up close ramp. Did they spot the shoulder? Pinecone with 1 through the smoke. Dimitri gets a trade. GCL, that shot was so close, and Dimitri double entry into the A side again. This is a replication of that earlier round with the Galil. And now that they get the bomb down, we may be into OT. Util flying. Angles being cut off.
Oh no.
But Mike and Tuggle, a kill apiece. This might just fall apart. Slatong and Dimitri are out in the open. They've got to get into cover. They've at least got to get frags. That's one. Up close is Mike. Finds that headshot. Traded out by Dimitri. This would be an ace. This would be an ace clutch for everything, and it's only Tuggle from Heaven. Here's the drop down. Readjusts. Expects him up close. Oh, that's steps. That's a tap. And that's Tuggle with the frag. 15, make it 16 for the Nekomatas. They barely finish it out, winning map 2 by the skin of their teeth. And they're going to make it to those grand finals, but it is despite the fact that the Ravens put up one hell of a fight.
Man, almost saw that T-side comeback nuke. Condolences to Ravens. They played a hell of a match there. Some individuals stepping up huge. It's just so close. In the end, Nekomatas take it.
GG. Well played. An exciting one. Perhaps we'll get an interviewee in here. Perhaps not. I know everybody wants to celebrate with their team or at least have a postseason talk. It's going to be rough. I hate to say it, but it felt like the Ravens could have stood more of a chance in Vertigo, perhaps even to then get us to a third map. I want to see more gameplay out of these 2 teams because that was an amazing series so far. But either way, I'm sure we'll get an amazing series in these finals as well. And whoever's going to join them in these finals is going to be decided on Monday. As we're going to see, I believe it's NA Nades up against... Is it that ATL team?
Sirens.
I may be incorrect. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, the Sirens from ATL. So that'll be an exciting one. Either way, Marky, thank you so much for casting this one with me. This has been... Whoa.
That was a very, very fun one. Thank you. And shout out Anonymous as well with the wonderful observing. Making it fun for all of us.
All right. Well, to everybody who joined us, all of the 58 viewers on the Twitch stream, GG's. Hope to see you back this Monday and then on Tuesday for the Contender Grand Finals. My name's Fuffy. Anonymous on the observing, Marky with me on the casting, and well, CSC delivers as it always does. So y'all, have a good night.